Far-left congresswoman tossed out of committee hearing. This is a suggestion via Discord. Let's go ahead and see where this takes us, guys.
All right, Congressman Green's repeated outbursts led to his eventual removal from the president's joint address, as we now know. Let's replay that for our audience now.
For those of you who didn't see it.
Remove this gentleman from the chamber.
Okay.
And he doubled down on defending his behavior yesterday before this morning's censure.
I heard the speaker when he said that I should cease. I did not, and I did not with intentionality.
Okay.
It was not done out of a burst of emotion. I was emotional about it. I would do it again.
All right.
I have to be candid with you.
Okay.
I'm not trying to in some way insult you. This is a matter of principle. This is a matter of conscience.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, yeah, that's a moral superiority aspect of his argument, most likely here. The problem is that, bro, this is a place for decorum, right? You're representing the United States of America when you're inside of this room, but yet all the other people, there were naysayers, obviously, around. You saw how they were silently protesting. It's fine, bro. Listen, the American Constitution allows you to basically do that. You can protest. Listen, I'm sure there were some people who had problems with the people with the signs that said Musk steals and things like that. But guess what they were doing, right? They were doing it with respect at the very least, but still disrespect. But it was still respect. What he did was disgusting. But let's continue.
Republican Congressman James Comer of Kentucky joins us now, chairman of the Oversight Committee. How did that sit with you? Welcome.
Not well, but it's par for the course with Representative Green. I mean, that was clearly a stunt, but to stand up and disrupt the president's address to Congress, that was bad enough, but to wave your cane and try to invoke a scene of violence like you're fighting and all of that's just not where America wants to see our Congress behave.
Right. Yeah, it was the waving of the cane that was the same for me. It was like a little bit disrespectful. Like, if you're going to sit here and make an outburst, I understand the outburst, but you're still going to have to leave, right? But the fact that you're waving the cane up like you're enraged, that's a bit much for me personally.
I mean, you can have disagreements with the president. You can boo the president. You can stand and you don't clap. But standing up and disrupting it and waving a cane, that's unacceptable. And the House did appropriate action today by formally censuring him, and I'm glad that 10 Democrats joined with us in that vote.
Do you think this will curb more behavior like that?
No.
I hope so, but more than likely it'll probably encourage more bad behavior, because when I have outbursts in the Oversight Committee, and I had one yesterday with Representative Pressley, they get rewarded by going on MSNBC and the other liberal networks, and that's unfortunate because you're making a toxic environment even more toxic when the American people expect us to agree on things like reducing wasteful spending and trying to have peace around the world. But these are the issues where the Democrats are creating most of the chaos to try to disrupt Congress.
Well, yesterday, another very dramatic scene playing out on Capitol Hill. Congressman, House Oversight Republicans ripped into 4 Democratic sanctuary city mayors in a hearing. The lawmakers brought up violent crime and massive sums of taxpayer money spent to accuse the city leaders of having blood on their hands. One example of crime came when this newly released video out of Denver was brought up at that hearing. You can see ICE agents chasing down and arresting a suspected member of the violent Venezuelan gang, Tren de Aragua. The incident came after a Denver jail was forced to release the suspect because of the city's sanctuary policies. ICE then had to arrest him in public, where he assaulted officers. That scene led to this tense exchange with Denver's Mayor Mike Johnston.
Did you release him to the streets? You release him to ICE?
What we do, sir, is we release him from our county jail, and we coordinate with ICE on that release time and release date so that ICE can come and pick them up from that location.
You can say,
okay, but you released him you let him outside the building. Like, why didn't you leave him in there in like a sealed room and had ICE walk in and do things in a more let's say, discreet manner. You caused that show out there, sir.
Hey, what? We're gonna. Here's what we're gonna do. We're gonna hold him. You come in and bring 2 officers in, and you turn him over there. Why not do it that way?
We have a city ordinance.
You know why you don't do it that way?
We have a city ordinance that governs.
Because you're a sanctuary city. This is the whole point.
And that wasn't the only fiery moment from the hearing, including progressive Congresswoman Ayanna Pressley also getting into it with you.
It's total
With me?
absolute. They are not making America safer again. And what they are doing is terrorizing immigrant families. That is what they are doing.
Let me proceed. Data from Texas shows that U.S.-born Americans commit more rape and murder than immigrants.
Listen, this trend of you all trying to get thrown out of committee so you can get on MSNBC is going to end. We're not going to put up with it.
This is my procedural.
Okay, what she said is not a lie. There are more U.S.-born Americans. I don't understand. Either way,
Right, as a member of this committee,
you can go with Mr. Frost and Mr. Green.
I'm reclaiming my time.
That's what you want. No. Ms. Presley, I have been very accommodating to you. Mr. Superjohn,
and I take particular umbrage as a survivor of sexual violence.
What does this have to do with anything?
Record, this is my right.
Bro, cut her mic.
Thank you.
No, cut her mic.
That was that, Congressman. Your thoughts on that?
Look, it wasn't her turn to speak. Everyone's watched congressional hearings. Everybody gets equal time. You rotate between Republicans and Democrats. She kept interrupting. She wanted to be thrown out. She wanted to have that viral moment. And it makes it impossible to govern in this toxic environment when you have these liberal Democrats that
want to perpetually and permanently be a victim and then tell the world about how much of a victim they are. Woe is me, woe is me.
That are disrupting. That was a serious substantive hearing about sanctuary cities and who's paying for this and the threat to our ICE officers who are trying to go into these sanctuary cities and deport the criminal illegals. And what you showed there in Denver was the mayor intentionally let that criminal alien out and forced ICE to have to catch them on the street instead of transferring them in a prison. I mean, that puts our ICE agents' lives at risk. That creates a public safety hazard. What if they had gotten...
Yeah, more of a public safety hazard in that context, because if he's coming out of jail, he has nothing on him.
Into a shootout or somebody had stolen a car and people get killed on the streets.
Not in that context.
All because you have these liberal mayors that are pandering to the illegal populations they have in their cities now and pandering to their liberal base. And the American people are fed up with it. They want Congress to secure the border and to deport the criminal illegals. And that's what that hearing was about yesterday. And the Democrats try to make it about something else.
And what we heard in the election where people on the left and the right are fed up with this, what is happening in their cities, coast to coast. Congressman, thank you very much for joining.
All right, guys. Let's see. Let's kind of break this down here for a second. The woman that interrupted obviously was under the perception that she thinks that every single person that actually wants immigration to get fixed thinks that every single person is going to that every single person that is inside of the country is going to commit a secondary offense, okay? And that's kind of where things are interesting because she has gone through something. She thinks that every single person, like she thinks that other people think. It's a weird thing that this whole thing is for me personally. But I think she thinks that everyone that wants people that are here illegally to leave perceive them all to be people that willfully take, other people's bodies type of thing. I'm not sure that's the case at all, okay? Not every single person that has come into the United States of America that is here under basically asylum fraud is going to commit a crazy secondary offense. It's a very small percentage of people that do so. Hey, listen, you guys all have an absolutely amazing day. Enjoy your day thoroughly.